Welcome back to Design Bundles YouTube channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Crystal, and today I'm going to help you solve a problem. So do you guys have this problem in your home where you have Ziploc bag boxes like this up in the cabinet? You're trying to figure out how to store them and all of those things. Now, I had seen a while back that you could actually DIY and make your very own baggie holder. So you can either place these in your cabinet, a drawer under the cabinet, and what it's going to do is it's going to hold all these different sizes for us, and then you can just pull them out as you need them. So guess what? We have a file for you. So link down below is the file that I'm using today, and you're going to be able to pop this file right into your Glowforge and make your very own baggie holder. So I'm going to walk you guys all the way through the steps today. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So let's start off over on designbundles.net so I can show you what the file looks like. So this is a baggie holder. This is going to hold all of your Ziploc baggies, and it has the gallon, the quart, the snack, and the lunch size. Now, the only one I did not have today is the quart, but I'm going to put some of these in there, and you will never even know the difference, just to kind of give you an example. So what you're going to be able to do is refill these and then keep them all together and get rid of all of these boxes and clean up and organize. So this is what it looks like. You can cut, this has SVG, DXF, all of those things. So you can even make this project using your Cricut Maker 2, Cricut Maker 3. You can just use the proper materials that you have there. It's going to take you a lot more cuts, take you a lot longer time, or you can use whatever Glowforge that you do have. Glowforge laser machine. I have a Glowforge, so that's what we're using today. So let's go ahead and take this over to the Glowforge software. All right, so now that we're over here in the Glowforge software, what we want to do is you're going to have all of these pieces here to create this box. So it's going to take you a couple pieces. So what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and start to line this. So once you already have your material loaded in your machine, you're going to be able to see this. Now you can start playing around with it. Once you get the material, you may have to come back and get some adjustments. So what we're trying to do now is just get as many pieces as we can to fit up here. So I think that's it. So I'm going to move these guys back out of my way, and I'm going to keep these ones here. Now you're going to notice on the left side, we have 3 different layers. We have this one, which is set as an engrave. I'm going to change it to a score because me personally, I don't need that deep of an engrave. If you want that look, you can definitely keep it. A score line is going to look just as great, and it's going to save us a ton of time. And then we are going to have this one right here, which is going to be our cut settings. And then once again, we're going to have cut settings. So we're going to have 2 that are cut. Now I've got to go up here to where it says unknown, and I am using Baltic birch. So I'm going to go ahead and choose a medium basswood plywood. Let me go ahead and find that right quick. Here it is, medium basswood plywood. So that's the one that we're going to select. So if you use those settings, for example, I'm using Baltic birch, and I've got this from Smoky Hills Designs. I've got it linked down below for you guys. And this is 1/8 inch. I'm using these settings. So it's medium basswood plywood for that. That's the Glowforge settings. So you could definitely play around with that, have your little trial and error if you need to. Lots of information out there. So once everything kind of highlights for us, we know it's ready to go. So we have our score, cut, and cut. So you always want to have your score and your grave all the way at the top. You can move those by doing this. So if the score was at the bottom, I'd go ahead and move it all the way to the top. Now I could keep and get rid of. So say, for example, I don't like that little bitty tiny A. I could go ahead and get rid of it if I want to. I'm not, because that's what's going to help us put it together. All right, so we're ready. So I'm going to go ahead and hit print, and we're going to see how long it's going to take us to get this first one. So while we're prepping this up, we'll drop the camera down, and I'm going to show you guys how to mask your materials. All right, so going over our supplies here, like I said, I'm using Baltic birch, and I got mine from Smoky Hills Design. I'm using a 1/8 inch, as you can see here. And what we need to do is mask it. Now, if you guys are using, you could definitely use proof grade materials from Glowforge. Those are already going to be masked for you, and they're also going to already have that little QR code that's going to be read automatically with a Glowforge. Makes it so easy, but it is also super easy to do this by yourself. And we are only going to mask one side here. So I'm going to go ahead and start with this one here. All right. Now you could stain these, paint these, or just leave them like so. And then if you wanted to, you could paint them beforehand. So that way you're not painting all these intricate pieces. You could paint these boards first and then come back and do it. So I'm going to go ahead, and as for today, I'm just going to leave mine the way that it is, more natural. And so what you're going to do here is you're just going to get some of this transfer tape on here. Now, I purchased this one from Amazon. There's lots of different places that you can purchase transfer tape. And because basically it's the exact same thing that you would use if you were using adhesive vinyl, right? But you want the paper transfer tape. Now, there is a trick to this. Let me go ahead and cut this edge really quick and we'll go over that. So when I first started doing this, you really have to rub this stuff in, because if not, once you go to start cutting, it's going to start peeling like this. So what you need is a nice little squeegee here, and you are going to rub the heck out of this down. You're going to go ahead and really put some elbow grease into this and really rub it in. So don't just try to go over it and be like, okay, I'm done. You really want to rub this guy down. So I'll get one side going, get some circle motions here, and rub. So it's super easy to mask these by yourself, and this stuff is pretty inexpensive. It's going to last you a long time. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and do that. Now, if I was only cutting out a little piece, I could mask a little piece, you know? You don't have to mask the entire thing if you're not doing an entire project. Okay, and like I said, I'm only going to mask one side. All right, so I think we're good there. So we're going to go ahead and load this into the Glowforge. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this up to the Glowforge and load it. All right, so for our first cut here, it's 9 minutes and 37 seconds. So we're going to go ahead and tell it to go. So we're going to go ahead and head on over to the Glowforge and hit go. So you can see I've got my material loaded. It's ready to go. So as you guys can see, the Glowforge is already taken off. It's going to do all of those score lines first, and then it's going to cut everything out. Now, as soon as this is done, we're going to come back here and we're going to load. We're going to mask our next one while we're waiting on this actually. And then we'll go ahead and just keep loading. I'm thinking it's going to take us about 3 pieces. All right, so while that's cutting out, we're going to go ahead and move on and mask our last 2 pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Now, I didn't do such a good job of masking my last one. It did come up a little bit. And I do think that humidity in your area probably plays a little bit of factor, because I noticed it's a little bit more humid today, and I did struggle with it. So we're going to go ahead and trim this down. All right. And then we're just going to do the same thing. So we're just going to go ahead and mask all these pieces here. Now, like I said, now once you get it down, you really just want to rub as hard as you can without buffing this up to get it down. All right, so as you guys could see, the Glowforge is done doing its job, but what you want to do whenever it says cooling down, give it a second until it gives you that go ahead. And if you give it just a few more seconds, you're going to make sure all that little bit of smoke is inside the filter or out the window, and you're not bringing that back inside of your workspace. So we're going to go ahead and head on over to the Glowforge, and I'm going to get these pieces out. All right, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to load my next piece. All right, so let's go ahead and head back over to Glowforge here, so that way we can move these pieces around. So once you use these pieces, you can simply just hit delete on your keyboard to get rid of those. So that way we can go ahead and you don't have to remember which pieces you've already used. So I can go ahead and grab, a couple of these at a time by highlighting them like so, and then dragging those in. So I'm going to let go, and I'm actually going to grab this guy here. And I'm trying to make sure, because I really need that edge to edge. I'm just making sure everything's lined up. And then we're going to bring this one in, and until it highlights, it's not ready to go. So what I can simply do is rotate this guy. All right, rotate it back just a smidge. We're going to get as close as possible. And then we're going to bring in another one. I could probably get... Let's see, hold on. I think we'll save those. Let me see what piece I have down here. It looks like we've got a couple here. I'm going to bring this guy in as well. All right, we will rotate this one and drag it up here as well. Now I'm double checking top to bottom, making sure I'm good to go. Everything is ready. So now I'm going to go ahead and hit it again. So we're going to go ahead and hit dismiss here. I'm going to hit ready. So now it's going to calculate once again, figure out how long I need it to go. So as you can see there, it's reading over on the Glowforge, figuring all that information out. Now I still have the settings. It's not going to change as long as we're still working on the same area. So I still have it at that medium basswood plywood. All right, so we're just waiting. It's 6 minutes and 50 seconds. So we're going to go ahead and hit print. Now, while that piece is cutting, we're going to go ahead and check out the magic that we did already with this piece. So I'm going to go ahead and peel this really quickly. Get rid of that mask. And then you guys can see here how nice that is. So this is using that bolted birch, but once again, you could definitely use that MDF. Now you see how that score line, it's just enough. I don't think you need anything more than that. I think that's great. It looks good. You have all your little cut lines where everything's going to line up. So here in a bit, these little pieces here, let's go ahead and remove this just so I can show you. All right. So like say, for example, this piece right here, it would slide right into these ones, these little slots right here. I'm not sure if that's the one where it goes. So we want to hold on a sec. So it's really neat. We're going to have little ones here in a second like that as well. But you're going to have, they're just going to pop all the way around and we're going to be able to create this little guy. So I'm super excited about it. And then we're going to be able to just pull our baggies out. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out the rest of the pieces and we'll be right back. All right, so we've got all of our cut pieces here, as you can see. So now we just got to put this thing together. So what we're going to do is we're going to set our top out of the way. You're going to notice there's no letters on here. That's because that's our top. So we're going to set it out of the way. You can obviously see where this goes in which direction. So we're going to go ahead and go. So we have A and H. So we're going to find that one first. All right. So what you want to do is on your pieces of wood, you have your pieces I was painting earlier. So as you can see, your A and H. So what we're going to do is we're going to line those letters up. Now, if you want your nice piece of wood pointed out, you can see my H is lined up with my A. They're the same on either side. So it's going to be okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get our wood glue. So we're just going to go ahead and take some Gorilla wood glue here. And I'm going to go ahead and pop these pieces together. All right, just like so. And I'm working on a little silicone mat here, so it'll be easy cleanup. And we're just going to go ahead and pop those in together. So you just want to kind of hold it for a few seconds and let it dry down. And then as we pop all these pieces together, that's going to kind of help secure it even further. So we're going to go ahead and just get that thing to hold there just like so. All right, so we're going to go ahead and locate our next piece. And I may have to adjust these as we kind of play around with it for a sec. We're looking for the one that has, let's do the one that has the B on it. So for our next piece, we can see B, G, I, and J, which is right here. So we're going to be popping this guy right down in here. So I'm just going to go ahead and get a little bit of adhesive on here. And this is going to kind of squish down in there. So I'm putting it on those little bitty legs like that. All right. And then we're going to simply pop it in. All right. Here we go. Look at us building the box. All right. So now what we're going to do here is we have our little ones. So I'll go ahead and just pop those in, and then we'll be able to pop in our sides. So we're looking for I and E, which is right here, and that one's going to pop right in here. Now with this, we're going to have it pop into this as well as the bottom. So I'm going to make sure, and I'm going to get glue on these little pieces here. All right. As well as these little pieces here. All right. Got it. So I'll kind of get this going as well as our side piece here. May have to pop this one back up just a little bit. There we go. So I think I've got those all popped down in there. There we go. So now we're going to work on the same. So this side will have to kind of pop up a little bit. So before you completely glue that side down, you may want to make sure you're getting these little pieces in next. So we're going to get the G and D here. Once again, you could paint these if you want to. Feel free to do whatever you would like. Now I'm gluing mine because I want it to be a little bit more permanent. I'm popping this guy back up. There we go. There we have it. Now, as you pop these in together, it's going to kind of help hold itself anyways. But like I said, I want mine to be a little bit more permanent. All right, so what I'm going to do now, and these should pop a little bit easier on the sides compared to trying to get those ones in. So now what we're looking for is H, J, and F. So we're going to find that right here. And so I'll be able to pop that on. So we're going to go in there just like so. So I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit of adhesive once again on my little end caps here, as well as these ones right here. Right, and I'll get some of these. Here we go. All right, so now I'm just going to line these guys up here. Okay, and then we're just going to get these pieces lined up. So this one, we're just going to pop together, just like so. Easy peasy. All right, popping together like a charm. All right, there we have it. So I'm going to scoot this guy around. I feel like we're building a house, a little playhouse. So nice. So now what we're going to do is F, E. We're going to do this. Now, once again, if you guys are new here, you can find the file to this link down below over on designbundles.net. We have the file already ready for you guys. And you're just going to be able to load this right inside of your Glowforge. And if you have a different type of laser machine and it takes a different one, we have the PNG versions and all of the things. So definitely check it out. And once again, you could definitely create this using your Cricut Maker. It's just going to take you more cuts because you can only do a 12 by 12 sheet at a time. All right. So there we have it. And then so we're going to get these pieces. I'm just popping everything down, getting everything into place. We have our last wall piece, and then we'll be able to get our top. All right. So now, once again, I'm just double checking my pieces are going to go like this. And so I'm just adding a little bit of glue here on my sides. All right. Just like that. There we go. And then we'll do the same thing. I'm going to get a little bit of adhesive on these little guys here. There we go. And we have it. I'm going to choke this a little bit. Hopefully you guys can kind of see this here, get our little legs in. So I'm just fussing with this little guy. Oh, you know what? I think I put it upside down. That's probably why. I put it on upside down. So if you feel like it's not going, that's what's happening. So I'm just going to go back over here. Just like that. All right. I want to make sure these are going to stick nicely. So we do that as well as these sides here. All right. So here we go. So if you ever feel like it's just not going, you probably have it flipped upside down. There you go. Much better. And see, everybody makes mistakes, so it's good to show. I mean, if you're having issues, just slow down. Now, you see all my burn marks here. I didn't mask the back side. So I would definitely recommend, if you're not painting this, to mask the back side. So that way you're not going to have all these burn marks. So mask both sides of your wood if you're going to leave it natural. If you're going to paint it, don't worry about it because you're fixing to paint it. All right, last piece. So we're going to go ahead and line everything up. So this one may take a little bit more working. Now, depending on if you plan on popping this off to load those, you may not necessarily want to glue this guy down. So you may just want to pop it all into place. So that way you have easy access to remove it later. And it really pops together really nicely that you don't have to worry about that adhesive. I mean, it really just pops together real nice. And if you're having trouble, you're just going to kind of push those pieces around until you can get it to pop in. So as you can see, I kind of just was able to kind of tap it around like this to get that final piece in. And there we have it. Now, if mine moves around on me too much later, I may want to go back and glue that top on. But for now, like I said, I'm just going to snap it together like this. And check this 3D project out. This is amazing. It is so thick. Let me tell you how thick that is. So this is 3 inches high. So like I said, I'm so excited about this. Just like that. Starting with our gallon bags, I'm going to go ahead and just get these guys tilted down in here. So whenever I want a bag, I'm just going to simply pull it up. So as you can see, we have it labeled gallon. And then I'm going to move on and we're going to move into our snack. Once again, I don't have the quart. So we're just going to pop these in, pull up our next one. And then we'll pop in our last one. Now I'm going to add some quart ones in. Let's see. These are snack. I can split it in half. I think these are the snack ones. These are sandwich, but I think they'll fit in the lunch and we'll put some in the quart. All right, so we'll just do that just so you can get the whole fill, the whole kit and caboodle. All right, so you're just going to simply pop it down and there you have it. What a fun project. So easy to make. Check that guy out. Now, once again, you could paint these. Now, I've seen where people, depending on how deep your drawers are, you can slide these into your drawer at the house, or you can put them up into your cabinetry. Just look at this. Pull out a bag. You're ready to go. And so it's really exciting. Now you don't have all of this piled up in your cabinet. So what would you rather have? This or this? Now, this would be another great item to make it and sell it local craft fairs, at your booths, even online or anything like that. You could have these as a project kit where people put them together. That would be a ton of fun as well. This would also make a great Christmas gift, housewarming gift for anybody. Absolutely love it. Now, once again, you could paint this. So, now, once again, you can paint these, stain these. And like I said, I really wanted to leave mine more natural. I'm not going to worry about mine, but I definitely would mask it next time. So that way I didn't have all these burn marks or anything on this side. But I'm really just more about the top. And that's what I'm going to see because I'm putting mine out in the drawer. So there you have it. And there you guys have it. So here is another view of it. So once again, you can see how thick this is. We have all of our bags in here. It just is so much easier and makes for great storage and cleanup. So I hope you guys enjoyed this project. If you guys recreate this, definitely use the hashtag design bundle so we can check it out. And if you guys are not a part of our Facebook community group, we highly recommend that you go check it out. There's hundreds of thousands of crafters over there making all of these projects and giving tons of inspiration and helping each other out. We also do giveaways and fun things over there as well. The link to this file is also in the description below, as well as all of the items that I used today. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please hit the like button down below and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.